We have a big jury, an important pitch session. Ladies and gentlemen, open up the doors, sound the horns. We are ready to start. It's going to be a lot of action. You are going to enjoy this. We're going to leave very satisfied. And I would like to introduce to you our dear jury, starting from the right, Trinu Lov, project manager at the University of Tartu Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Trinu, hello. Next up, Dora Marosvolgi. Welcome, pleasure to see you face to face. Finally, we've seen each other online in these competitions. Nice to see you in face. Dora is representing, she's the founder and CEO of Dare Innovations. Dora, welcome. Next up, Annik Verveen, manager at Biotech Incubator by VIB, business development manager at VIB. Welcome, Annik. Nice to see you. I hope you get your microphones in a few seconds so you can ask your questions and give comments. Right here from Latvia, we have Sergejs Yakimos, managing partner at Longev VC. Hello, welcome. And on my far left, we have Peter Malgorossi, Chief Executive Officer at Creative Accelerator. Hello, Peter. All right, we will get you those microphones, but right now I want to welcome on the stage the opening act. And ladies and gentlemen, please, when people are coming on, engage them with your applause, and when they're coming off, show them your valuation for the pitch. Let's use the applause as the valuation. We'll see how it goes. All right? All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's welcome on the stage the first presentation, Printy Med. 4 minutes are yours. I will be very strict on time. Once you start speaking, we will start the timer. Good luck.
So, hello everyone. My name is Ekaterina Romanova and I'm CEO of Printy Med. So, each year, on average, there are 6,000 of organ transplants available, but 100,000 people are already in the waiting list. And every 10 minutes, someone is added to the waiting list. Unfortunately, 22 people die every day waiting. And even if you finally get your organ, there is still a big possibility that it will be rejected by your organism. That is why we came up with our solution, artificial spider silk for bioprinting. So, artificial spider silk is mechanically stable, biocompatible, and safe for the human body. It has high surface-to-volume ratio and low immunogenicity. And that's why this material is ideal for the bioprinting. Our material could be applied to make the skin repair, blood reconstruction, bone regeneration, cartilage, hair muscle, and peripheral nerve regeneration. Our scientists have developed the unique method for producing chemically modified artificial spider silk by bioconjunction. The method mimics the native process of spider silk formation, and it yields the artificial fibers that reproduce to a large extent the properties of natural spider silk. A great advantage of our chemical modification technology allows us to introduce new functionalities to the material. We have already applied for the patent, and our technology was recognized as one of the most significant achievements in Latvian science in 2021. And now we continue our work to adapt our material to 3D bioprinting. So, our business model. We will produce spider silk protein, and then we will print artificial scaffolds for the artificial organ manufacturers, who will add patient cells, and they will have a final product, artificial organ. Of course, there are a lot of direct and indirect competitors, but artificial spider silk bioprinted organs are 100% available, has high biocompatibility, comfort level for the patient, it's easy to transport them, and also they are made only from the host cells. The global artificial organ market is big enough, and it's continuously growing. We plan to obtain a major part of the 3D bioprinted scaffold market. Our team has all the necessary competences in business, science, and industry. That's why we can run this project successfully. So I'm CEO, and I'm for more than 5 years developing deep tech startups in medical field. Professor Kristaps Jaunzems is for 10 years in artificial spider silk research, and he is the head of the laboratory at Latvian Institute of Organic Synthesis. Sandra Treide, she has a medical background, and she is now a commercialization expert for medical devices. So we already have raised the pre-seed round, and now we are raising seed round for €1.5 million to further technology and business development. So let's save 100,000 lives and bring the future of artificial organs together. Thank you.
Thank you, Yekaterina. Very good presentation. Dear jury, let's kick things off. Questions, comments, let's go. 2 minutes have started. Who is up first? Take your microphone. Please, Sergey. Yes.
Where is the microphone? Yeah. Right, thank you very much. I do have one question though. So guide me through the clinical pipeline. Where do you start? Well, what type of organs and what type of clinical validation you need to go through to actually reach some sort of market-related milestone? So where do you start?
So for now, what we have already done, it's we can obtain this artificial spider silk in the laboratory conditions. Our next steps, those organs what I mentioned, it's what we have found in the different publications and so on. We do not want to produce artificial organs by ourselves. We want to produce scaffolds for 3D printed scaffolds. And these scaffolds we will sell to the artificial organ manufacturers who will add these cells and who will produce these final organs. Of course, to produce these scaffolds, it's still the 3rd class, and we still need to do a lot of work. And
All right.
I think you know.
Thank you. Who's up next? Yes, Peter.
Where you listed your competing products or technologies, you did not list scaffolds made of other materials, because this technology, applying cells on scaffolds, has been existing for years, and you did not compare your scaffold made of spider silk made with other scaffolds made of whatever other materials.
All
yes,
right.
we have wrote the all the final organs and the other kind of devices and so on, because the main advantage is if you produce a scaffold from artificial spider silk, only to this you can add the cells, and after that the final organ will be only all full of the host cells.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Yekaterina. A round of applause. A round of applause to the first brave team right here on the stage. Thank you very much for your presentation and for your answers. Next up here on the stage, I would like to welcome Vigo and preparing Skin Future and Vectio Pep. A round of applause.
Thank you.
4 minutes are yours.
Hi, everyone. Oh, here's my presentation. So my name is Yanis. My background is medicine, so I'm here to talk about stroke. Stroke is the most common cause of long-term disability worldwide, and it actually costs the most. Out of 7 trillion of global healthcare expenditure, stroke takes 1/3, and all the rest goes to thousands of other diseases. And only, as you know probably, stroke is a disease that suddenly turns someone from pretty much okay to disabled. And the way to recover is called rehabilitation, which is a long process and requires a lot of specialist work. Therefore, only 10% of the people recover completely. Why is that? Oh, because there is no rehabilitation available. Why is that? Oh, because rehabilitation is entirely exclusively on shoulders of human specialists, which are, surprise, lacking everywhere in the world. So these people do not they do not recover. They require further healthcare attention. They become a lost workforce, and they create, therefore, economic burden, and they become a in some way, burden to their families too. But here in Vigo, what we do is we have created a solution that automates a part of rehabilitation process. And it actually serves both. It serves patients and clinicians. For patients, Vigo makes rehabilitation easily accessible, personalized, which can be started within days, not in months or years, which is the traditional situation. And for the specialists, it makes them much more productive. Specialists' arms become longer. They can service 100 times more patients, because usually what happens, specialists can work one-to-one on patient or one with the group. By using our solution, one specialist can look after hundreds of patients. So business model in Latvia is pretty much B2G. We have an NHS tariff, which is confirmed about 300, little bit above 300 euros per month, and usually the therapy lasts for 3+ months. So we can say it's 900 euros per patient, and there are, out of 6,000 new stroke patients yearly, we estimate 60% to be suitable for Vigo therapy. Therefore, it can make up to above 3 million revenue. And we're actually working in towards US market as well. There are 12 million people, out of which 7 million plus are serviceable market, which is about $6 billion. And we are planning to monetize through remote treatment monitoring, full risk stroke care, personalized stroke recovery programs, etc., etc. So Vigo, as a digital therapeutic, it is a digital therapeutic, is currently going through 3 clinical trials, including a randomized control trial. And here is myself, with my colleagues Kristaps and Anna. And thank you very much for your attention.
Excellent. Nice finish, Jānis. Thank you very much for that. Dear jury, yes, let's start with Dora and then Annik.
Congratulations for the pitch. So could you give us an idea of the traction, how many users you have and what is their feedback?
So in Latvia, we have had above 400 users so far since launch in 2020. And these users are, we can divide them in a couple of parts. There are patients that apply to us directly. There are patients that have been trialed in the hospitals and rehabilitation centers. And there are a small group of patients that have been in the NHS reimbursement program through rehabilitation center, biggest rehabilitation center, Viver, in Latvia. So altogether 400 euros, 400 patients. Mm-hmm. And in US, we have only test patients. Currently, we have groups of patients that are testing.
Thank you for that. Annika?
Jānis, thank you. I had the same question, by the way, but I do have another one. Jānis, you mentioned that it takes part of the rehabilitation over. How much do they still need to do themselves? And is there something where you can also provide a solution or not at all?
So yes, so there are degrees of disability. Some people can exercise on their own. They do not require attention of the specialists. And on the other side, there are patients who need full assistance. They are physically unable to participate or actively engage in rehabilitation because Vigo doesn't have arms to pull them out of the bed and put them upright, etc., etc. So not all of the patients are suitable, but those who can actively engage in the rehabilitation, because Vigo is mimicking specialist work. So let's imagine there is a patient, I'm a specialist, and I am guiding patient through rehabilitation process. I'm saying him what to do to recover. So Vigo does that. If patient is not able to listen or to engage, then nothing.
Jānis from Vigo, round of applause. Yeah. Thank you very much, Jānis.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have for you. Dynamic presentations, dynamic answers. Thank you, Jānis. Job well done. Next up on the stage, we welcome Skin Future, and preparing is Vectio Pep and I Do. Skin Future, here we go. Round of applause.
Hi. Good afternoon. I believe if there's only one product that will need to be in your skincare routine, it's sunscreen. And today I would like to tell you about our product that will change the way you protect your skin. So, sun protection is very important because skin cancer by far is the most common type of the cancer. 19% of the cases, skin cancer is closely linked to the harmful effects of UV radiation. That's why it's really important to use SPF products daily. But there's increasing concerns over safety of existing UV filters used in the products. Next slide. Synthetic UV filters cause rapid and complete bleaching of coral reefs, and they are really dangerous to marine ecosystems. That's why in several states of the US have banned the use of sun protective products that contains these synthetic UV filters. And this gives a big opportunity for our product, and we think it's the right time to bring our solution to the market. So our solution. We have made a clay polyphenol composite material that contains polyphenols and clay minerals, and it can be used as a natural alternative to these synthetic UV filters. Polyphenols are biologically active compounds found in plant-based foods, and they are known as a preventive remedy for skin premature aging. We have found a way to intercalate these polyphenols in clay mineral structure, and this brings the opportunity for us to protect your skin not only from the UV radiation but also from blue light, and our product will have anti-aging, anti-radical and anti-cancer properties. Here you can see our product compared to the solutions now in the market. Our product mechanism will be similar to the natural clay, to the natural products now in the market. But our product will be better because of these anti-aging, anti-radical and anti-cancer properties, and our product will have no environmental risks. Or here you see the size of the market, and it's big enough, and even the field of our natural UV filter market is about 100 million. Here's our team. I'm a first-year PhD student in environmental science, and my research area is polyphenol intercalation and clay mineral. And my other teammate is Demi Plesh. She is a final year medical student, and her future is connected with the field of dermatology. And our mission together is to make a meaningful difference in sun care industry by keeping your skin and environmental protected with our natural SPF products. Now we are working in the lab, and we know that our product can be used in the SPF products by natural alternative to these synthetic ingredients. And later we are working on the tested in tests that proves the product anti-aging, anti-cancer, and antibacterial properties.
Thank you. That is the time we have. Thank you, Aiga. For other questions that were not answered, hopefully the jury will ask. Breathe in, breathe out. Dear jury, let's start. First one is Sergey, and then Trinu. Yes.
I'm actually the second one.
Oh, Trinu.
Thank you for the pitch. My question was that are you going to plan to produce the cream and package it yourself, or what is your idea behind this?
Yes, now we are working for this composite material, clay and polyphenols, but later we want to integrate this composite material and cream base that can be used as a sun cream. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Right, so I actually have a question on positioning of this, right? I assume the sales strategy is direct to consumer, right? So you will be selling direct to consumers. So there are a lot of claims and sort of potential value propositions that you're bringing up. It's anti-aging, it's anti-cancer, it's sustainability, it's environmental, etc. So what is the ultimate pitch to the consumer? Why is the person buying it at the end of the day? Because of which properties?
Because the person wants to protect skin from sun radiation and protect skin from premature aging. And this person wants quality of product that's multifunctional products. It's not only from protection from UV, but also it's giving the other properties.
Right. So a very humble suggestion here is to emphasize it, right? So just sort of be very bold with, like, this is why it's better, right? And this is why people will be buying it over the normal SPF. Because, like, I've bought SPF in my life. I've never actually thought about it damaging coral reefs, right? Or being unsustainable.
All right,
so
thank you. Quick comment, 15 seconds. Yes.
I was thinking the same thing. You should not underestimate the environmental conscious consumer here. So that's an important one. And also look at competition. There's a few other ones doing something similar. Might be good to check that as well.
Excellent. Thank you. Aiga, thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you for your answers. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, there are some empty seats right here, so please don't be shy. Take these seats right here. We have a lot of presentations in front of us. You do want to hear them and see them. And next up on the stage is Vectio PEP. Yes, a round of applause. And preparing is iDo and Detect. Here's your clicker. Here are your 4 minutes. Good luck, sir.
My name is Kaido from VectioPep, and I would like to tell you how we turned corona vaccine into a therapeutic cancer vaccine. But I would like to start with a somber note. Did you know that 1 in every 2 women and 1 out of every 3 men will develop cancer once during their lifetime? Many of those people are being treated with a chemotherapy, extremely painful for the patient, and yet this solution is not efficient enough. Luckily, during recent years, a new type of approach has emerged that has a lot of potential, that helps the patient's own immune system to fight and kill cancer. That is called immunotherapy. Immunotherapies are a huge and very fast-growing field with a size of $80 billion. I would like to propose a biotech solution that enables completely new type of cancer immunotherapy by using mRNA. You probably remember the word mRNA from recent corona pandemic time. And you may know that the companies Moderna and Biotech earn 50 billion with their mRNA vaccines. Well, we can turn those vaccines into a cancer treatment because we have invented a tool that specifically transports mRNA into specific tissues in the patients. Our unique point is that with VectioPep technology, we can transport mRNA specifically into the immune cells. And nothing like this can be achieved with currently available alternative technologies. With our technology, mRNA can do more than just prevent simple infections. It can actually treat real diseases. And we've proven that. In preclinical models, we've convincingly shown that we can treat melanoma. We, the founders of the company and inventors of the technology, have more than 10 years of R&D experience in the field of drug delivery. And maybe one example of our expertise is that the largest biotech company in Estonia is currently using our technology for the production of therapeutic antibodies. And we are also very lucky to have been onboarded very highly experienced people, team members, Meelis Kadaja has 9 years of experience as a chief business officer in a biotech company, Icosagen, and Katrin Kaarna, 20 years of experience in clinical development in national CRO organization, Quintiles. Our business model is to out-license our technology to our customers. These customers are pharma companies. These pharma companies will input their therapeutic mRNA, and together with our mRNA delivery technology, we will co-develop immunotherapeutics. The revenue will be generated through the licensing deals. At the moment, we have validated the core idea at preclinical level, and we are currently seeking seed capital in order to elevate and accelerate the preclinical validation. With the subsequent Series A, we will complete the first-in-man clinical studies, and from that point on, we are ready to out-license our technology. Well, Estonia is known for 3 things. With pure nature, digital society, and a lot of tech unicorns in the field of IT. We hope that one day VectorPep will be one of those key terms associated with Estonia. If you think of investing in VectorPep, please don't hesitate to contact us.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Kaido, for your presentation. Fans are in the audience. Dear jury, let's start. Peter, you're first. Who's next? Triinu.
Biotech also works on using mRNA vaccine against cancer. How do you differentiate your technology from Biotech anti-cancer vaccine?
Well, both BioNTech and Moderna have tried applying their mRNA delivery technology as a cancer vaccine, but up to now, these trials have failed because their mRNA technology has a limitation, as I just showed, that their transport is limited to the liver tissue, as opposed to our technology, which transports mRNA specifically to the immune cells, and that's how we aim to succeed, where the current approaches have failed.
All right. Thank you. Triinu?
Thank you, Kaido. You have filed a patent, and have you been already? Have you spoken already to some big pharma companies about what you are doing?
Yes, we've approached the global pharma companies, and we are at the moment in discussions with 2 of the global pharma companies and 1 biotech company.
All right. Thank you. Dora?
I'm interested in your IP strategy, if you could.
All right. Quick answer.
We would like to, I mean, we have patented the underlying chemistry that our technology is based on, and we will out-license the technology as a biotechnological approach or a method, and then we will co-develop with the pharma company the final pharmaceutical product. So the one component of the final pharmaceutical product is our biotechnological method.
All right. Thank you. Sergey?
I don't actually think you have time to answer my question, but there are so many claims here, right? Especially on the melanoma side. So I was going to ask about your melanoma model and what you have actually treated in the animal design you had. But yeah, we can take it.
That is something to think about. Kaido, thank you very much. Thank you, dear jury. Round of applause. Round of applause. VectorPep, let's welcome on the stage IDO. And preparing is Biotech and Fungo Health Tech. IDO, round of applause.
Good afternoon. My name is Walters, and I'm from IDO. And I'm here to tell you about our vision training device that ultimately helps people to see better. So probably you didn't know this, but 30 to 40% of the population have vision-related problems due to staring at PCs, laptops, using mobile phones. As a result, they get fatigued. They probably might think that they would need glasses, but quite often, vision distraction can be handled by vision training. So what we do is that we use therapy, and we train user eyes to improve ability to coordinate, to have less fatigue, and to be more efficient. Our solution is a vision training device that can be put on user's head and used at home. It takes you through a series of exercises that strengthen your eye muscles. We plan to use artificial intelligence for training script improvement, also for analysis of training results. Things that we have done so far is that we have signed MOU with a leading optical chain in Baltic market. The MOU is about prototype validation, market study, and the potential sales of the vision training device. Second is that vision training tests have been carried out. 11,000 children participated in the testing. And third is that the patent is filed, and we have signed agreement with University of Latvia regarding the further development of the technology. Our business model is pretty simple. It is sales of the vision training device through dealership agreements. Optical chains are potential dealers for us. 300 euros per device sales revenue and 10 euros per month monthly subscription fee per user are planned as income sources. Regarding the competitive landscape, there are manual training tools on the market, but they cannot be used independently. Then there are VR-based solutions like Vivid Vision, for example, but they are limited in their impact. And only IDO has a computerized vision training solution which allows to train accommodation or person's ability to adjust vision in automated way. So the market is big and it is growing from 200,000 users in Baltic countries to 300 million potential users worldwide. Market size being 10 million in Baltics and 15 billion worldwide. Our team consists of 3 optometrists and team lead Gunta Krūmiņa, who is a professor at the university at Latvia, and I'm a company CEO. So the investment that we are currently looking for to get market ready and start sales is 350,000 euros, and we are planning to split it to the market development, training scripts, cloud-based IT platform, and prototype development.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Dear jury, your time is starting right now. Who is up first? Annick.
Thank you. I have a question, and depending on the answer, I will ask my second one. An optical center, is that a center where you have all the eye doctors or where they sell your glasses?
Well, the optical chain is actually where they are selling the glasses and also where they are having optometrists.
Okay.
And what we are looking for and what we have actually started with in the Baltic market with signing the MOU is that we see that those optical chains would be interested to be the dealers for this training service because it adds value to their service that they provide.
Okay.
But then my follow-up might be a very stupid question, but why would then they pay for something that will, in the end, make them sell less glasses? Because you will keep the eyes better, right?
Oh, yes and no.
All right. Good question to think about. Sergey?
I actually have a couple. First, I do see the Latvian patent application. Why is it not a PCT application? The second one is, have you actually considered to partner with someone in the industry, not the optical chains, such as SACE and the rest of the world?
All right.
That'll be much easier for you.
With these two? Okay.
Okay. Yeah. These two are good.
Yeah. So I will start with the second question. We have been considering this, and this is still an option. Right now, we are seeing that optical chains would be more straightforward way to get to the market and start sales of the vision training device. Also, there is one important thing that we are right now in a phase of prototype development. And the next step is that the prototype must be validated. So optical chain is a point, or optical service is a point where this device can be validated. And that is why we are kind of right now more focusing on optical chains.
Thank you. And the patent is something to think about or talk after this. Thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you for the answers. A round of applause to I-Do and Walters. Thank you very much, Walters. Next up on the stage, I would like to welcome Biotech, and preparing is Fungo Health Tech and S-Address. Round of applause. Welcome.
Thank you. So, my name is Kaspars, and today I'm representing Biotech. We're saving lives by making melanoma detection process more efficient, accessible, and precise. As we've heard earlier today, melanoma is a widespread type of cancer. In 2020, there were around 300,000 cases worldwide, and by 2040, it's expected to rise to 500,000 cases per year. Why it's important to detect melanoma early? Because as it gets heavier and longer, the treatment costs go up substantially, and the survival rate goes down substantially. How the device works, it uses multispectral data that is used to detect specific skin types, the specific skin components that have a unique ratio between them for melanoma. And you can use math and physiology to calculate for each pixel the probability of melanoma, and after that we take these results, we enhance them by AI, and the result is very precise. The results are displayed in an easy to understand diagnostic map. There are my notes. So if there's a chance to melanoma, anyone can identify it. I should have known this earlier. The device is competitive because it uses these mathematical models combined with physiology. The result is around 90% accuracy, which is around the same level as an experienced dermatologist. And the device is tested on more than 3,000 skin samples. The diagnostics equipment market is around $46 billion US, and is, of course, expected to rise in the future. But the value proposition is quite simple. Imagine you are a for-profit healthcare establishment, like a walk-in clinic, and you would like to, or even a skincare establishment, and you would like to have your skin screening for melanoma as a full-time service that you offer. You can either have a full-time experienced dermatologist on a payroll, or you can use our device. The costs are understandably lower. We can offer different models, like one-time payment for the full sum, or a smaller initial payment for the device, and then a smaller payment for each individual use case, like each session that you use the device. The roadmap so far looks like this. The next big challenges are, of course, certification and scalability of the manufacturing. And of course, our goal is to sell actual product in the following years. We have a very strong team that is willing to tackle these hurdles ahead of us, and things that we are looking for is investment and knowledge for the certification. Also, the product has been awarded multiple awards, and we have beautiful mentors that help to steer our company in the right direction. Hopefully, with your help, we can save some actual lives by bringing this technology to the market. Thank you.
Thank you, Biotech. Let's start with the comments and questions. Peter is first.
I have two comments. One is that this is a very crowded space, so there are so many technologies available for the same diagnosis, even for full body. So I would have loved to see some competitor analysis or something like that. How you differentiate yourself. Second, that when you depicted the graph of the medical diagnostic device market, I mean, that is a little bit too big number because, I mean, you are one of the many, many, many devices. So I would have loved to see your own market.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you for the comments. Trino?
I was just wondering, is this one type of cancer, melanoma only, or can you kind of extend this in the future for other types of cancer? And the second question, where is the production going to take place? Not in China, I hope?
Thank you for your question. So currently it's only for melanoma, but the software is being continuously upgraded. So in the future we plan to have different types of skin lesions to be detected, so not only melanoma. And yeah, the device, the planned manufacturing is not in China.
All right,
if that's your question.
I have a quick suggestion. It is indeed a very crowded space. So whenever you're pitching a imaging diagnostic device, make sure you include sensitivity and specificity.
Of course.
As two variables that you're advertising or pitching, because this is basically the major question that you normally have when you look at these projects. I can think of few that are using phone cameras, etc. Like we get a lot of these in the pipeline for the fund, so sensitivity and specificity are key, really. And you should be striving for like 95+%.
Thank you. Thank you, Team Biotech. Thank you. Next up on the stage, we welcome Fungo Health Tech, and preparing is Address and Centum. Do we have Fungo Health Tech? Yes, we do. She didn't hear your applause. Let's go. Give her some energy. Here's your clicker. Here's your screen. Here are your 4 minutes.
Thank you.
We can start.
Hi, I'm Kate from Fungo, and we're building an augmented reality tool to motivate teens with oncology diseases to move. So there's a problem in hospitals. Teens don't move, especially teens with oncology diseases. They spend most of their time in their wards sleeping, sometimes due to medical conditions, but often due to emotional fatigue, depression, and isolation. And of course, physical activity is crucial for them. But data shows that only less than a half of them actually meet the guidelines of how much they should move every day. And of course, hospitals are trying to do different activities, some engaging games for them to motivate them, but as they have like everyday resources, everyday rehabilitation, they have to focus on that, and they just simply don't have enough resources to create games and think of new activities, how to motivate them. And that's where the Fungo comes in. So how does it work? Patient opens the app. First of all, patient gets a notification that somewhere around the hospital a fungi has appeared. Then they open the app, walks around the department to find the fungo, and when they have found it, they can interact with it, pick it up, collect points, and then the more they move collect the points, the further in the level they get, and find more fantastic fungi. We believe that it can be a great help for kids to motivate them move and also go through the rehabilitation process. As AR induces curiosity about their surroundings, it also can encourage teens to move within their comfort zone, which is really important, taking into account their mental state. Also, it has been found that AR can reduce pain perception, which is also important in their states, and the fact that we can actually measure the effectiveness of this solution. Of course, there are a couple of solutions that might motivate kids to move, but none of them are really adapted to the needs of oncology needs, as they have these strict limitations of how much they can be active, where they can go, and so on. So we currently have a B2B, B2G business model, and we're offering multi-tier SaaS licenses starting from €800 a month, which varies depending on active user amount,
configurable areas, and also patient data insights. And we can see how we can scale the business in various directions, starting from hospital networks, also the data insight generations, and moving into other therapeutic directions like for elderly, also for movement therapy, helping physiotherapists, and so on. And also the market indicator shows that cancer won't be less of a problem in the next decade, so we see the problem will be still actual. And this is the team of Fungo covering business, product, and development, and we're currently raising 50,000 euros to deliver our first prototype. Then we plan to validate it with clinical partners and acquire the first clients. And then next year, 2024, we're gonna raise the next money to expand our client network. And currently, we're currently developing our first prototype that we are launching this summer. And if you want to know how exactly we're going to do that, feel free to reach out to me, Keita Fungo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Keita. Round of applause to you. All right, what about some comments and questions? Annika, then who is next? Yeah.
Thank you, Keita, for your presentation. I have a question. You don't have a prototype yet, but did you already test some of the visuals also with your target group?
Yeah, we have been, we made the prototype, which is a prototype in Figma, which is a prototype of the application, but without AR that we had tested like design-wise, game-wise with the patients, but now we are creating the prototype of the actual app that would be in their phones that they could use as a real app.
Well, how many teenagers have looked at it and given their feedback? The reason why I ask is, I'm a mom of teenagers myself. I have the feeling that your target group might be a little bit younger than a general teenager, so that's why I ask.
Yeah, we've been testing it with all the patients that currently has been in the Children's University Hospital. That is the biggest children's hospital in Latvia, and it has been around 20 patients in total. But of course, we also test, as we don't want to divide in sick and healthy teens. They still have the same interests more or less. So we're also testing it with teenagers outside the oncology department.
All right. Next up is Dora.
Thank you for the pitch. And you mentioned emotional fatigue. And I'm wondering, how will you make sure that users are sticking to the solution? How do you motivate them to come back? Do you build a community around it, or what is your strategy?
So we're exploring different ways how we can do that. Of course, one of the things is that we have to make actually a game that they're curious to play, and because we understand that there are TikToks and Instagrams and so on, and we also have to find the time when they would use that. But also other way how we're exploring is that going directly through hospitals, like putting some images, some stickers that already raises their curiosity, where they can later engage into playing the app itself. So we're exploring of what would work best for them, like promoting it to them as a usual game or as a tool that actually helps them to recover.
Thank you, Keita. Thank you very much. Thank you for your answers. Thank you for your presentation. That was Team Fungo Health Tech. Next up is Esadres. Esadres, are you here? Yes, welcome on the stage. And following that is Centum and Orbit 8. Here's your clicker, here's your screen, and your 4 minutes. We're listening carefully.
Hello, my name is Karin, and I'm representing Esadres, and we are a spin-off company from University of Tartu and deep tech company. So we have a solution for the treatment of chronic wounds and wound infections, and our wound dressings not only fight against the bacteria, but they also help the wounds to heal. Chronic wound infections is a major problem for the society due to the health problems that it causes to the patients, as well as to the healthcare society because of the money that is involved, and the treatment has high cost. At the moment, there are no good treatment options available due to the fact that there is a huge toxicity issue with systemic administration, and also to the effect that there is a low concentrations locally in the wound. We have a solution for the problem. We are developing electrospond antimicrobial fibrous wound dressings, which provide the help locally in the wound. And we have electrospinning technology for producing the matrices, and we have a know-how and skills how to incorporate drug molecules and antimicrobial agents and wound healing agents into those fibrous structures. This wound care market is growing, and it is growing fast, and very often, indeed, these advanced wound care products are getting more and more sites. And the major users of these cares or wound care are hospitals and clinics. At the moment, there is no other company that we are aware of that is doing exactly the same thing. Indeed, there are other companies that can be considered as competitors to us, but at the moment, the things that they are claiming that the features their products have, our solutions provides those ones as well, but we have an additional advantage, and our advantage is that we are providing personalized approach, that patients' needs are considered, and this approach can be applied at advanced therapy at the hospital level. And we have a good team in place. We have 10 years research experiments and skills in this area. The core team has worked together 10 years, and we have also young researchers involved, and we actually have all the needed skills to do these things. And we have been involving also clinicians. We are currently having collaborations with them, and we have also business and clinical advisors on board, and we are also talking with manufacturers. At the moment, we have research done, and we have also started our startup, and today we have already one patent application handed in, and it's already actually published, and the second one is in filing at the moment, and we are setting up clinical trials at the moment to move on. And we are looking for collaboration partners and consultations in order to actually successfully succeed in this and get more knowledge about licensing and how to move on forward to the market. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Karin, for your presentation. All right, first hand I see is from Sergey.
Right, so I actually have a question on the business model here. So you've mentioned that you're doing certain degree of personalization, that you've mentioned hospital setting where you can personalize, but then you want to manufacture yourself. So what is...
We have B2B model, so we are providing this to hospitals and clinics, but for more simple products, we can also move from B2C model that we can also provide them for clients in pharmacies.
Right, okay, got it.
All right, thank you. Trino?
You mentioned the major users will be clinics and hospitals. To how many have you already spoken and validated this? And are they only in Estonia or also abroad?
At the moment, we have approached 2 clinics in Estonia, the biggest ones in Estonia, and we have had very good collaborations already ongoing, and they are very interested in this approach of setting up this personalized approach in their facilities. But we have also contacts abroad in Finland as well as in Ireland at the moment that we have had discussions.
All right, thank you. Who's up next? 50 seconds. Yes, Annik.
Thank you for your presentation. You showed a nice advantage according to the competitors that you have. Will it also mean that your product will be more expensive? And what is the price comparison there?
At the moment, we are not claiming that our approach is less expensive. We think it might be the similar 15 euros per patch, but we are claiming that we need less treatment, which takes care of this, that the treatment is shorter, and that's why we can save money and have less, or reduce the costs in healthcare.
All right. Katrin, thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you for your answers.
Thank you.
That is Karin from S-Address. Next up on the stage, with the help of your applause, is Centum. And preparing is Orbit 8 and Pestivine. Ooh, I think there's some bribery going on.
Just for
I think you
what
have...
we are doing.
You're missing one package. I think there's one... Yeah.
It's actually a lot in here. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it is a lot.
It's empty.
No, it's not empty. It's a lot.
It's a lot. All right. Well, you have 4 minutes, sir. This is your clicker, and your 4 minutes have started. Good luck.
My name is Danilo Trubachev, and I am founder of Centum Group. Currently, more than 1 billion of people around the world have obesity and diabetes type 2. The main root of this problem is sugar cravings. Current pharma solution has a lot of side effects. However, nutrition is ineffective. Centum Group developed the first ever efficient and clinically based solution against sugar cravings. We aim to reduce the total quantity of diabetes and obesity over the next 5 years. And we plan to positively impact more than 4 million of lives and reduce healthcare costs of more than $150 million. Our market is very high growing. We see a strong shift nowadays from pharma medication to herbal pharma and nutrition. So the medical prescription of supplements, which has 14% annual growth, prove it. Our total addressable market is $1.5 trillion and serviceable obtainable market is $450 billion. This is our competitors. The main difference is that we use completely natural ingredients and our solution has a longer effect. We have a very strong science behind and we have a very strong scientific team. So our product has several ways of working. So firstly, it interacts with taste and sugar receptors, which are responsible for the taste of the sugar and which are responsible for the sugar cravings. So our supplement helps to block these receptors and reduce sugar cravings. Our advantages include very strong scientific team with famous nutrition and pharma products launches. We also focus on a therapeutics effect, and we use several AI optimization technologies for our operational processes and for our development process, which help to reduce costs and increase effectiveness over the competitors. This is our business model. You can see that we plan to reach 160 million in turnover over the next 6 years and hit 50 million of euros in revenue. Our team includes very strong scientific development leader, Dmitry Babarykin. He has more than 30 years of experience in pharma. Valeria Fomina is our marketing director. Olga Izbolt is our scientific manager from Harvard University. And Oleg Makovenko is our main investor with more than 30 years of experience in healthcare and IT. This is our current products. 2 types of products against sugar cravings, product against atherosclerosis, and product for immunity system against cold symptoms. Currently, we use B2B online channel, B2B offline, and B2C online. More than 100 clinics and beauty centers around Spain are waiting for cooperation with our company and ready to sign the intent letter. This is use of our funds. Most of them will go to the marketing and PR. And currently, we are seeking for 1.2 million of euros in exchange of 15% in equity. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Daniel, for your presentation. Well, let's see how sweet the questions and comments will be from the jury. Who's up first? Sergey.
Right, so thank you for the presentation. I would abstain from the claim that the overall sort of obesity market is due to sugar cravings. That's not entirely correct, right? And the endocrinologists, if they're here, will support me, I guess, in that. But the question is, are you already selling? Which I didn't get from the presentation. And then if any sort of regulatory pathway is applicable to you or not. Because like this feels like you need an actual clinical trial or some sort of trial to prove the claims that you're making.
Yes, we had in vitro trials, and we also had randomized trials with more than 30%.
All right.
Which proved the effectiveness of our product. It proved that this product can reduce the glycemic index, it can normalize the glucose level, and it reduces the sugar cravings in terms of 3 months.
Mm-hmm. And are you selling? That was the first question.
Yes.
And can you repeat the first question, please?
Are you selling already or not?
Yes, we are selling
okay.
our product.
Thank you. Who's up next? Trino?
I just have a comment that you have also a very nice package. People are sometimes buying with their eyes. So thank you for packing it so well.
Thank you. Annick?
Yeah, thanks. I agree on the packaging, but as a customer, I would like to see something else, right? If you do B2C, what is then your unique tagline? How will you convince me to buy your product, regardless of the packaging, according to all the other nutraceuticals?
Yes, so we see a strong shift from pharma to natural solutions. And we plan to produce very specific solution with therapeutics effect. So our supplement will work towards the specific problem. Because nowadays, nutrition mostly works for a group problem, like cardiovascular diseases, but not for a specific problem.
Thank you. Thank you for your answers. Thank you for your presentation. A round of applause. Hey, have the clicker. Thank you, sir. Next up on the stage is Orbit 8, and preparing is Pestivin and Veritacell. Round of applause. Here you go, sir.
Hello everyone, my name is Paul Sirbins and I'm from Orbit 8. It's a personalized space-grade education app. Now the problem that we're trying to address is that education system currently in the world, it has a very low engagement. People are not happy of going to schools. The technologies are growing faster than the schools can adopt. And most of the time, schools are not addressing the needs, actually, of the career choices we're going to make in the future. Why is it a problem? Mostly it's a problem for parents. Parents, instinctively, they want their kids to be successful. They want them to be successful with their careers or their private life. And most importantly, which might sound funny, but if you're a parent, you would know, if you grow older, you would be very happy that your parents actually would visit you. So for that, you need to establish the contact with them. You need them to be successful so that you have things to talk about. So what we're doing, our solution is actually to develop a tool that can diagnose the talents and potential of the kids. From this, we can create individualized and engaging curriculum for kids. And we will have a motivational tool that will create a positive habit of learning for children. Now, the product has two parts. One part is for kids, where kids have a small, bite-sized questions and tasks and exercise to do. And on the other side, when the kids are doing this fun and the small exercise, that the parents, on their application, they can see what are the talents, what are the competencies that kids can grow with, the talents and personality traits that they have. And on top of that, we're going to have a very simple pocket money motivation tools when kids, when they're doing a small exercise, they can actually earn pocket money provided by parents. Now, the market size for this that we estimate is pretty enormous, but of course, that's in the very future. There are at least 100 million families with children of 10 to 14 years old who we believe is our primary target. And from our research, families are spending at least 50 euros per month on additional educational activities. Now, our business model is quite straightforward. We want to make money from the commissions that parents are paying to kids with pocket money. We can have a commission from the purchases that kids, from the money that they actually made themselves, are buying a game, add-ons or headsets for their gaming or whatever they want. We want to also introduce a monthly subscription for ongoing content that will be provided for kids and for parents, and of course many other upsell opportunities. Now, we are now in the stage where we are launching our alpha version within a month. We've done a lot of research so far to check our and test our assumptions about what parents want, what kids want, and we plan to launch the whole app until 2025. We are now at the stage where we are almost ready to do the first FFF round to raise around 100K, and by 2024 we want to raise a pre-seed. This is our team. We are really proud of our team because one of our advisors is head of European Space Agency recruitment and human resource, Frank Denesi, and we have great researchers from Germany, from Latvia, and a great team of developers. This is it. Are you ready to launch the education to the next orbit? Thank you.
Thank you, Pauls. Thank you for our presentation. All right, who is up first with their comments or questions? Trinu.
Question I didn't quite understand. So is it something related to the school, what they have to study in the school, or is it just the parent thinks that I need to establish what my kid is good at and force him or her to do it, or?
Yes, so this is a very good question. We don't want to go into and break down the school system. We really want to do it as an additional thing when kids come home. Instead of rolling through the TikTok, they would actually be rolling through and answering maybe stupid, maybe funny questions, solving some interesting exercises, which do both the evaluation, what are their talents, what do they like, what are they good at. There's a huge science behind that I'm not going to go into right now. But this is more like recreational thing for kids, where they're answering the questions, solving some puzzles, making a little bit of money, and establishing, which is most important in some psychology, they're establishing the learning, the habit of learning, that learning is fun. So that's our core thing.
Thank you, Sergey.
Right, so I would actually want to go a bit into science, right? Because the service like this is a pretty bold claim, and the service like this is only as good as the underlying scoring model is for kids. So the question is, how do you score kids, right? I assume it's not only based on like correct or incorrect answers. That would be too simplistic. So how do you score? Because you are talking about pretty grown-up kids already, right?
Yeah, so at the moment, we are focusing on two basic psychological aspects. One is personality traits from Big Five, which is used in many companies, where you can evaluate kids more or less correctly what is their personality, not in terms of what is their type, but are they more thinking extrovertly or introvertly? There's a whole science behind that. And the other one is multiple intelligences, which actually says that people are learning in different ways. One are learning through words, other through pictures, other through movement, and so on. So this is the basic science behind that. It's something that we are developing together with the research team. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your answers. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Orbit 8. Thank you. Thank you, pals. All right, next up on the stage is Pestovin, and following them is Veritasel and Elogium. Hello there. A round of applause to you. Here you go. Here's your remote. Here's your screen, and your 4 minutes. Good luck.
Hey, everyone. My name's Diana. I'm here today with Pestovin, a plant design lab. So at Pestovin, we really like our plants. We also really like French fries. I bet you do too. But you know what? Bad news for all of us, because we're in competition for French fries with the Colorado potato beetle. Jokes aside, this guy is really bad for crops, and he can eliminate up to 50% of yield if infested. And even if pesticides are applied, the solution is not guaranteed. This is because it takes up an average of 7 years for Colorado potato beetle to develop resistance to solutions on the market and previous solutions. And that is because current, past, and future pesticides all more or less use the same mechanism of affecting pest cells. There's a lack of innovation in the mode of action of pesticides. So this is where Pestovin comes in. At Pestovin, we experimented with some mushrooms that are known to have proteins that affect pest cells and cells in general in a very new and novel way by targeting lipids. So we formulated a very effective biopesticides using these proteins and tested them with a range of pests. We're very successful with this. But you know what? We decided to take a step further and solve another problem, the problem of pesticides and climate change. Pesticide production, shipment, and application on the field is a big contributor to climate change. So we decided to incorporate our own pesticides into the plant itself. And this is how we produced our first potato that is specifically safe from the Colorado potato beetle, because it produces the biopesticide in its leaves. I mean, you can see the difference is remarkable. Our protection is truly, you can see, really great. So we had successful greenhouse trials, very, very happy with that. And now we're going to perform the very first field trials of GMO plants in Latvia this summer. So once available to the farmer, our potato is going to make sure the farmers save money and time so he's really happy. He doesn't have to apply as many pesticides. But more importantly, it's going to provide for a clean crop and align the agricultural industry with the net zero course we're all taking. So where are we with this, with the market? We know that we sit somewhere in between of the pesticide market and the seed market. These two markets are mostly dominated by the same players, highly integrated big companies worldwide. They also keep licensing technologies to one another. So what we're going to do is we're going to license our own technology to them. To make sure our technology really fits their needs and the needs of the consumer, we're already in conversations under NDA with some North American companies. But you know what? There's more. We also know that our technology works for the Western corn rootworm and corn. This guy is known as the billion-dollar beetle because of the resistance problems. So we're here today seeking industrial partners for corn development, or asking you to join us as a financial partner in this project and help us bring our first Western corn rootworm-resistant corn from the lab to the consumer in the field. We really believe that we hold all the keys to success because we're really passionate, but we also have a very good, strong scientific team that is just really willing to work on this. Thank you for your time, and let's talk about this over some French fries.
Thank you. Very delicious presentation. Who is up first with their comments or questions? Peter.
What I understood, I might be wrong, that it is genetical modification.
Exactly.
And in many European countries, or most European countries, GMO plants are not eligible, or so legally cannot be produced. How do you address this market?
I would correct you in saying that they're not legally allowed, but there's caveats in that. But knowing that, this is why we're targeting North America, and the first commercial partner we're talking to are North America. But Europe is going to turn around, because if we want to have a net zero society, we can't keep applying chemicals onto our crops. So Spain actually is producing genetically modified crops in corn, and they're in Europe. So it takes the first one. That's what we believe.
All right. And you tested for the Colorado beetle and any other bugs?
So we can publicly disclose that we know that it works with the Western corn rootworm, and the rest of the pests are currently not public, but we know it works.
And is it only for insect pests, or do you plan to extend it to fungal diseases? Because that's another big group of diseases. Yeah, so depending on how we're going to take our startup, we want to acquire additional technology for fungal, because we know that these specific proteins currently work with pests that are insects. Okay,
all right, thank you. Quick comment? Yeah, Annika.
Thank you, Diana. A very short question. By the way, your presentation is already way better than what I saw earlier this week, which is really amazing, a steep learning curve. But a very short question. Why do you move from pesticides, biopesticides, into GMO potatoes? Don't you make it yourself very difficult?
All right, quick answer.
I mean, in our mission, we don't focus on what's most convenient for us, but what's needed in the market. And it's the most efficient way to deliver this kind of effect onto the insect. The plant, when it's growing, it keeps producing the pesticide. So the farmer doesn't have to rush to the field and look for a time when he has to apply and then reapply and do all these things, right? He just buys the seed that's already protected. And also the problem with the climate change, right? Production, distribution, and fumigants that are used, I mean, this is a whole other issue. You know that.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation.
Right.
Thank you
so
for
much.
your answers. Thank you very much, Diana. All right, next up on the stage is Veritacell, and after that, Elogium. Veritacell, are you here? Yes, you are. Here's your clicker.
Can
Here's
you
your
hear me?
screen.
Yes.
We are listening carefully. Let's go.
What now? 5 years ago, we started a wound care company. Actually, here in Radisson. Anniversary for DTA Atelier and for our company. We didn't have any medical background or PhDs ourselves as entrepreneurs, but what we did have is a couple of relatives in the hospital with some wounds that didn't want to heal well. What we also had the big desire to build at a big scale and help simplify how we fix people. So we united in a team with cell biology experts with deep competence in skin. Actually, Dr. Georgopoulos was involved in establishing the first in the world research center for the scalp cooling to prevent hair loss after chemotherapy. Then we also completed the team with advisors from Smith & Nephew and GE Healthcare, some of the largest corporates in the wound care area, to make the team count. Top surgeons told us we have something amazing. In Zurich, they told us, bring it to our patients tomorrow. In Birmingham, they were excited about how much more consistent results we can provide for their patients. In the cell therapy branch of Institute of Fraunhofer, they saw great potential in how we can simplify handling of regenerative medicine procedures within the operating room. Throughout those 5 years, 5 long years, out of 3 of our major competitors, 2 either finished their operations because they ran out of money, or they are getting bought out, still stuck in the clinical trials. One of them, Avita, is trying to make it in the US, quite successful in some points, but they left Europe, and we heard from surgeons they were not satisfied with what these guys provide. And those are public companies, by the way, worth hundreds of millions of euros. What about us, Mavericks? At the start of our company, we raised pre-seed funding. We did customer development for that, found a product market fit. Then we tried raising for 2 or 3 times seed funding. All we heard, you're too early, get more data, then return to us. So we got a bit more data. We raised EIT Health funding, and we did a study in rats, which showed that in the first week of healing with our product, there's better wound closure, and more notably, there's a lack of scarring response. So we showed that it's faster healing and also minimizing scarring. Are we too early now? Maybe just a little bit. Well, actually not. We're very early, but in a different sense. We're the first, the earliest to provide truly cheap, simple, and effective solution for healing burns. We give surgeons super cost-effective surgical kit to isolate tens of millions of skin cells within 30 minutes right in the operating room. They get basically a liquid skin which they apply onto the wound, 20% faster healing, and thus lower treatment costs. We're the first and the earliest to make it possible without a lab, without culturing cells, without any additional expensive equipment. Yes, we're early. And we can go where our competitors can't. Because of this cost effectiveness, we can go as low as 500 euros where others are charging 7,000, and our margins would still skyrocket. Imagine conquering India, a developing market, where 1 million of burn patients are per year. And there's no advanced solutions available because just they're expensive. We can go that low. What now? Referring to this question at the beginning. We have finally amassed the package to launch towards the market. Almost. We have the product market fit, we have EU patent pending, and we have in vitro and in vivo data for the product. The lacking bit is to establish a certain regulatory pathway that we've been missing until now, and then raise money for that. We'll get the regulatory pathway in grants, and we're raising at least €1 million to proceed with the clinical work.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Dear jury, yes, a round of applause. Very good. Very good. Some energy left. All right, who has the first comment or question? Who is up first? Dora, yes.
Very nice presentation and good storytelling, so congratulations on that. And my question would be, what is the acceptance of the patient's skin? So do they reject, or anyone, do you have any data on that?
So existing studies, so not from our product because we haven't tested with people yet, but the existing study shows that the acceptance rate, I don't have the exact number, but it's much better than the standard of care, which is skin transplant. So because those are cells, not a piece of skin applied, it's much better. How exactly, I won't be able to tell right now.
All right, thank you. Who's up next? Comments? Questions? Sergey.
So you already know this, right? But please get an FDA expert on board, or the regulatory expert on board. 1 million is not enough. You need to raise more, significantly more, like 2.5, 3.
Yes.
Yeah, and shed more light on the industrial collaborations that you have, if you have any, right? Because getting this to the market yourself is a very unpleasant and a task you don't want to do, honestly.
Absolutely.
So you need industrial partners. So if you have these, highlight these.
Absolutely. Thank you. And we're looking for regulatory experts and funding for that as well.
All right. Any last comments, questions? Peter was nodding along, agreeing, right?
Just wanted to ask the same questions.
All right. All right. Well, 3, 2, 1. A round of applause.
Thank you.
Arseny. Thank you. Veritacell. And put your hands together. The last presentation today in our pitch demo session is Elogium. Welcome.
So hi, I'm Carlos from Elogium, where we use bacteria to make our lives better. We all had diarrhea. It is not a pleasant experience. And each year, 500 million people feel the same when falling ill with foodborne diseases. The #1 cause for this is Campylobacter, which is most widespread through chicken meat. But it is not only diarrhea that Campylobacter does. Fever, nausea, neurological diseases. Every year, 33 million of healthy life years are lost, bringing $4.5 billion financial damages to the EU and the US alone. But chicken producers don't care. Just wash your knives and cook your meat thoroughly, they say. But they do care about profits and efficiency. More meat from the same amount of feed. Thankfully, the EU has decided to stop it. In year 2025, it will lower the allowed level of Campylobacter presence in chickens by 30%. Now the broiler producers do care. Now food safety is their burden. And that is precisely why we at Elogium, by using our patent-pending unique bacteria, are developing a probiotic chicken feed additive that eliminates Campylobacter directly inside the chicken gut system, completely. Even more, by improving the microbiota, the feed conversion improves. More meat from the same amount of feed. But chicken broiler producers are the end users of our product, not our customers. To save the pain of large capital expenditure, we will partner with a well-established animal health company for production, branding, marketing, distribution, and sales of our product. Our knowledge, our technology, our innovation. Corporate manufacturing, corporate distribution, corporate credibility. That is the winning formula. And our partners are our sources of revenue, recurring license payments based on the amounts of our products sold. We are already in negotiations with 2 of the top 5 global animal health companies for co-developing our product. So what are the others doing? The existing safeguarding practices, such as biosecurity at farms and washing of chickens in slaughterhouses, have reached their limits. The only existing probiotic which claims to be effective against Campylobacter, calsporin, has to be fed at a larger dosage, thus making it relatively more expensive. Other novel solutions are being researched, such as vaccines and bacteriophages. However, all of the publicly available trials present only partial effectiveness at best. So why only now? Didn't anyone think of this before? Well, it takes time, it takes luck, and it takes the brains of our team of microbiologists specializing in Campylobacter research for more than 2 decades. Katerina, our pathogen expert, Paul Lonza, our good bacteria expert, and Professor Ines, our scientific manager. And me, the CEO and business developer of Elogium. With the help of our recently raised €550,000 pre-seed round, we will make our first product ready for authorization in the EU market. After entering the EU market in 2026, we will enter the global poultry feed additives market, which was worth $2 billion, in 2027, followed by the $7 billion probiotic market for other animals in 2032, finally reaching the human probiotics market in 2035, which by then will be worth more than $120 billion. What a lovely picture of healthy chickens. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carlos, for your presentation. It is time for the comments and the questions. Who will kick off our final jury round? Who's up first? Yes, Trinu.
had a question which actually the last slide answered, that I saw only the picture of chicken, but you are planning to use it also on other animals and eventually in human. Why does it take so long? Is it because of the testing? Or, I mean, talking from chicken and other animals, not necessarily humans.
Yes, so basically at the moment we have one bacteria which we're focusing on, one strain of bacteria. And this works very well in chickens. It might work as well good in piglets and maybe puppies, because this is a strain which is active against Campylobacter, and this is where the Campylobacter is a problem. We also have a potential pool of other strains which we are researching. Thus, for example, the use in the humans would come from other strains. So that's why that's development for the future of the company. It's not the thing we're focusing on at the moment.
All right, thank you. Who's up next? Sergey?
Right, so it's pretty exciting, but I mean, my bet would be spend more time on the industrial partnerships that you have. It's a generic comment that I'm making, but please do it because it actually matters. And then on the business model side, so what you are willing to do is you're willing to out-license what you have to a number of leading manufacturers. You want to partner with only one, or like how does that work in practice? What is the plan?
This is still in negotiation. So basically at the moment, as we said, we're talking to 2 of the top 5, and both of them want exclusiveness, global exclusiveness, which we're sort of a bit afraid. And yeah, it's still under decision. Maybe it can be in one partner for one market, other market for, let's say, Asia, one for Europe, one for America, so on. Not to put all the eggs in one basket.
Right.
All right. Thank you. Last comment? No? 3, 2, 1. Carlos, login. Thank you very much for your presentation, Carlos. All right, dear jury, I turn to you. Maybe there are some thoughts, some comments overall on the presentations that we heard, some feedback that maybe tomorrow, the next sessions, the presenters can take, good, bad, pros, cons, anything. Raise your hand right now. Yeah? Peter.
Well, I can start. One thing that is very interesting, that large fraction of the pitches, not only in this session, but in the previous session, it was not clear what is the product. So the pitch does not tell, okay, this is my product, this is what I am going to sell, and this is my client, which is very, very important. I mean, this is how business starts. Mm-hmm. And the pitches were very good. I was very happy with the level of pitches. However, it is very, very difficult to put a deep tech or technology pitch in 4 minutes. Mm-hmm. So this is really, really difficult. So congratulations to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the kind words. All right, are there any more questions, comments?
I can do a quick one. So first and foremost, yeah, I appreciate everyone coming on stage. It's actually much more difficult than it looks, and much more stressful than it looks as well. So a very quick sort of wish list from my end is that the biotech pitches and life science pitches necessarily, like they differ in the content that you need to deliver versus B2C software, fintech, whatever products, right? So make sure you actually use the terminology and use the metrics and the variables that are specific to your industry, and you demonstrate that you actually know what you're talking about. And this comes back to my question about sensitivity, specificities, etc. Because this is what you operate with, and just make sure that you use the right terminology. Yeah, so that's one. And then the second one is it's substance over everything, right? So be very clear with what type of IP that you have, what is the strategy there, what is indeed the product and the underlying technology. Highlight people with specific skill sets on the team. So if you have something that requires regulatory approval, have someone on the team that has this background specifically, right? And just be structured, right? And I know it's easier to say than to do, but it actually helps to digest information much easier that way. Not to diminish the importance of storytelling, but like you need to be very specific with the data that you deliver.
Thank you, Sergey. Yes, Annick.
Well, first of all, I can only echo what Sergey is saying. I think 2 more additions. It's about making the story yourself. Make sure that you can tell it in 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5, 10, and it needs to come out smoothly. As Sergey says, it's much more difficult than it looks like, but I think it's an important one. And what sometimes I was missing, but which is in biotech, specifically in this very early biotech, very difficult, is know your competition. You're never in that blue ocean where you're the only one solving the problem. So something more on that could be on a very high level still, would be nice to see.
Excellent, thank you.
From my side, this has been a couple of times that I'm watching these pitches. And compared to the first ones back in 2018 or so, I think the quality improves a lot. And there are two things that I'm searching for the pitches. So one is the business model, and the other one is the intellectual property protection. And these pitches, they had this in the content. Also, they had the collaboration in the content. So from this perspective, I think really that these startups made a good job. And congratulations for all of them.
Thank you. Trinu, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel pretty good because we are ending this today now, I think. But first of all, thank you everybody who did the pitching. I know it's not easy. Usually when we have some competitions in Estonia, then we give only 3 minutes. So today it was 4, it was good. But one wise man once said that you really, you don't fail because of the technology, but you can fail because you can't sell. So I know biotech is a little bit different than other topics, but from the day one, talk to your customer. Either the customer can educate you or you can educate the customer, but this is very important to emphasize for whom you are really making the product, not because of the technology and you like it, but who is eventually your customer, and then it will all go smoothly, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
So thank
Excellent.
you.
Thank you, dear jury. A round of applause to all of you, Trinu, Dora, Annik, Sergey, and Peter. Thank you very much for your time and for your brain power. Ladies and gentlemen, this is day number 1 in Deep Tech Atelier.